There's the lady at the pink hijab there. That one.
Yeah, we discussed that. Abdul Jannah be like, this is so cool. He's like, yeah, who don't want to be there? And his wife in Jannah be like, wow, I prayed and fasted all my life and spent eternity watching this.
It's like the bikini woman saying to her, "You're already in hell. This is
you're
it.
already
You're
in hell."
living. You're in living hell. Every day of your
No.
reality is hell."
No, but Nuria, that actually makes it even worse. We can add another caveat on that. So, hey, you're already in hell because you're, praying, fasting,
Spending life
doing all
praying,
that stuff.
fasting, being obedient. Yeah.
But even in heaven, you're not going to be better off. Your husband is going to be having orgies, and you'll be like,
no. But Horace, the wives get the special permission of being the head of the pimps.
yeah. Well,
oh, I don't know that.
Yeah. You're like,
Yeah,
you know how in
They
a brothel,
control.
there's like a brothel master or mistress. She
Madame.
controls all the
madame.
the madame. That's it, the madame. Yeah.
For her husband only. Oh God.
Yeah, she'd be like, okay, who goes in? Who goes in? Let me have a look. Okay, you go in. you go straight.
And you make sure you're not having too much fun. Okay, that's an acceptable amount of fun.
Okay. So you got this. You've got some references, which is very good. So men are rewarded with virgins. For the companions of the right hand, we have created the companions of special creation and made them virgin pure. Quran 56, 35 to 36. Now these virgin houris will have firm breasts. Verily, for the righteous there will be fulfillment of the heart's desires, gardens enclosed, and grapevines, and voluptuous women of equal age. What if you're you're more on the Victoria's Secret kind of guy, you're not in the voluptuous kind of women. What then?
Well, there's also a market where you can go 3D printing and choose what you want. So I think Muslim men will be okay.
I mean, sorry, God. Imagine the poor Huri.
X-rated. Don't read it out. The next part is X-rated, so I don't want your chance to get in trouble because there's a lot.
No, we won't get it. It's most of the no, I think it's fine. It's an Islamic text. It's volume 4, chapter 21, number 2687. So this is, by the way, deprecated hadith numbering. I think you're using Muflihun. Don't use that. Use sunnah.com. So the international numbering is just one number. Use that one. It's easier to find. So the smallest reward for the people of heaven is an abode where there are 80,000 servants and 72 whose over which stands a dome decorated with pearls, aquamarine, and ruby. Oh, talk about turning someone on. As wide as the distance from Al Jabiya to Sana'a. Now it gets worse. Apparently it gets worse.
Wait, Horace, can I just say one thing? Just because it's really Chris, because we were just talking about hell a second ago, and the Islamic hell. Somebody was writing something in the chat, it's something to do with how insanely hot it's going to be, right? So in my head, as you're reading this, and from this meme, Professor, all I can think of is obviously the Bedouins of Quraysh, and they're in this intense heat. Obviously, which is why hell, the worst thing they can imagine is complete fire. Yeah. And imagine, because all you live in the tent kind of lifestyle, right? And you're having long journeys, you come back to your tent, all you want is free flowing liquid to nourish you. And all you want probably as a man after a 40-day journey is to be able to sleep with somebody, let out your biological needs. So can you imagine, they're I just want to be fed, watered, and have my biological needs taken care of in this tent-like setting. This is all reflective of their life, the dome, the servants, the liquid flowing, and heat being the complete antithesis of it, i.e. Jahannam.
I mean, I'm trying to find the verse as well, just while you're talking, is that there's another verse where it say there's reclining chairs with what you call parasols.
Reclining chairs.
It is a desert description, because who said in heaven there's going to be a strong sun that you would need? And this tent. There's another verse about tents and
khayma. There's a lot about the khayma setup. Right.
Oh, yes. It's all desert. It's someone sitting in the desert making it up.
It's a desert man's fantasies and worst nightmares. That's Islam.
By the way, Nuria, what you said, also because of it from the Arabs' point of view, and obviously Norse gods, hell is eternal freezing.
Exactly. Some of the Indian religions have intense desert jungle forests, getting lost in there, and you only find those forests in that part of the world. Everyone has their own.
What people were sick of
They
said, okay, this is what you're going to get in hell.
They feared being stuck there forever. Yeah,
exactly. And this is from my folder of sex in Islam. So the believers shall be given in paradise such and such strength in intercourse. It was said, O Messenger of Allah, and will he be able to do that? He said he will be given the strength of 100 men, meaning Prophet is telling them he will be given in what he means by O Messenger of Allah. Will he be able to do that? Meaning, will he be able to bang for? Al-Ghazali wrote, let me find that. He actually said that you'll be having sex for 40 years. Imagine being the wife waiting outside for 40 years. Come on, it's only been 2 years.
But Muslims will tell you 40 years in heaven. Yeah, you drop dead, man. They would say 40 years in heaven is just like 15 minutes in human time.
But then what's the point of it? Then it's just 15 minutes. What's the point? It's just either way. They're just screwed. They're just screwed. Okay, all right. Sorry, Professor, you got me there. Okay, so there's a folder called Sex in Islam folder. So Sahih Bukhari 3327. Allah's Messenger said the first group of people who will enter paradise will be glittering like the full moon. And those who will follow them will glitter like the most brilliant star in the sky.
The North Star, he means.
So the people who are actually following would be glittering more radiantly than the first people, because Muhammad didn't know the stars actually glitter with far more intensity than the moon.
Well, because stars are like that side.
but now people will say, oh, no, let's say from the Earth's perspective. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah. They will not urinate, relieve nature, meaning no poo-poo, spit, or have any nasal secretions. Like, imagine that. Why nasal secretion? Why not talking about, their nails would not grow to a point where you would see the blackness at the edge of that?
They clearly had really runny noses in the desert.
Yes, exactly. He was sick of it.
And no tissues. What do you wipe with? Sand? Rocks?
That's what happened. Says like my Prophet Muhammad going to one of his 55 wives. Okay, I'm just exaggerating. One of his 13 wives. Oops. No, I'm not exaggerating anymore. He did have 13 wives. Anyway, so imagine going to one of them. It's like, come on, honey. Like, it's such a turn off. I'm a 55-year-old man. It's already very hard for me to get excited, and all I see is a runny nose. Sorry. So that's why he said no nasal secretions. Their combs will be of gold. Oh, and their sweat will smell like musk. Why the hell would they sweat in the first place? They smell like musk. Look at this.
Maybe they're sweating because they're about to meet. They've met their master already, right? Yeah, they're getting into heaven now.
Yeah, but
should be chilled by now.
They reeked at the time. They reeked from sweat, so they have to come up.
Yes.
This is the desert. You know what I mean? So that's it. And what is the value of gold where everything's going to be gold and silver? It's like what is the value when it promised you all these gold and silver and other hadith and stuff? I think what is the value then? Because you're in heaven, you can't sell it. You can't keep it. It has no value. It's just a yellow.
It's luxury,
metal.
Professor. You're in the lap of luxury. Remember those earthly pleasures and material desires you had? Somehow you still have them, or you should be appreciative of them in heaven for some reason. Bloody hell.
So the yellows wood, which is what, incense? Is that what it is? Yeah, like the agarbatti.
Musk, like oud.
Will be used in their centers. Their wives will be houris. And it's
the wives will be houris in this one, so the wives will actually turn into some of the 72 virgins. You'll have 4 of those 72 will be your wives, maybe.
Nah, I think that's just for Muslim feminists. Like there's some consolation for them, but Allah takes everything away from them. He said all of them will look alike, and will resemble their father Adam in stature, meaning 60 cubits tall.
Yeah,
that's what But what's the point of having, you can have a very beautiful wife, yeah? Okay, like what's the epitome of beauty these days? Let's just say Aishwarya Rai, yeah? I'm going back, Aishwarya Rai. So you get Aishwarya Rai, you're like, okay, all right, yeah, winning, but then they all look the same. So like, come on, guy, give me a bit of variety.
I think they all look the same, would they? They probably would, I don't know.
Can I tell you my heaven? My heaven will be, if I was to design heaven, it will be very little of the sex that is described in the Quran. It's more exploring the galaxies. It's discovering new lands and, going to other environments, being a very long, beautiful holiday that it's not all about immediate satisfaction of eating and sex. You know what I mean? So that's it really does show that whoever invented the heaven, which we all know it's Muhammad himself, was only thinking about his needs, the way I'm now describing, what would be my heaven. And I hope anyone who's hearing it for the first time, and you'll be surprised, this meme, I repeat it in different formats. And then again and again, I get people who are completely shocked how the Islamic heaven is just so basic needs of sex and eating, and very little beyond, the enjoyment of exploring and reading and enjoying
knowledge.
Knowledge, yeah. Honestly, if my heaven would have been to go and explore other galaxies, meet new civilizations, and if there isn't just on a constant holiday exploring around the world, not having to work necessarily, this whole thing is very much an invention of a desert dweller, as I describe it in my memes.
And can I just say as well, exactly what you said, Professor, just to follow up on that, it's so reflective of the character of Muhammad, who is supposedly meant to be this timeless example. If you look at the heaven, it's just debauchery. It's like it's just instant gratification. It's carnal desires. That's all it is. It's catering. You can see the thumbprints of man all over it. You can see the thumbprints of Muhammad all over it. You can see a frustrated, a man who has been living in the desert his entire life, frustrated with how hard everything and how harsh the environment is around him. And these are his deepest, darkest desires and fantasies coming to life. And what always surprises me is because even when I was a Muslim, I would obviously get shot down when I did ask, because you're not supposed to. But I would never be completely comfortable with what we're doing all this for. Like, what do women get in heaven? And I mean, here, maybe this is the only consolation. This is what I used to believe when I was a Muslim, that we turn into huris. But even that, I was like, what's going on here? I don't want to spend my life doing that. Why was that chosen for me in heaven as well? Like, I didn't consent. Consent is missing all across Islam, right? But it's just such a simple question. If women just dared to ask a little bit more about, I don't accept beautiful looking servant boys with pearls to serve me. And I don't expect being being one of 72 virgins or being the madame of all the other 72 virgins for years.
But it wouldn't hurt to have them, though.
No, but why do I have to be partnered? Like, why are Muslim women said that that's what's going to happen? We don't want that. Why should our afterlife be revolving around sex? Women are less into sex in the same way men are in that way as well. We don't lose our minds when we need it, or want it, in the same way that men might do. Yeah.
I agree. So there's another one which I promise I'll be done after this. I won't bore you with these.
Okay, but Horace, I think you will like this. Just to put it into context for you and Professor, this is what would be happening if you entered Islamic heaven. Each round for the man can last 40 years. 40 times 72 is 2,880 years.
Yeah, that's a lot. I think I'll probably come up with I don't know, some gangrene or something. But anyway, so whoever restrains
way worse, mate, way worse. You don't want to know what would happen to you.
No, but Allah will give me special injections of like, boom, I'm ready to go.
Oh yes, because he made the privilege right. He said it would never go flaccid. It will always be.
I'm trying to find that. I've literally got the reference of that as well. But anyway, so look at this one. Look at this. The promise of pussy to men. It's just look at this. It says, whoever restrains his anger when he is able to implement it, Allah will call him before all of creation on the day of resurrection and will give him his choice of any huri that he wants.
But they all look the same. I thought they all look the same. What the
hell? Just be cool, yeah. Just be chilled. Allah will give you your favorite choice. Woman.
Okay. But they're all the same. They're all the same.
You know what the saddest thing is, though, is like since the beginning of humankind and human history, like sex obviously sells, right? And to this promise of sex in the afterlife, imagine if you're a man in this day and age who actually cannot interact with the opposite sex. You can't form meaningful friendships, let alone relationships. You have no idea. You're basically what people term as an incel. You would definitely go and do something to be promised that you could get that much action. It works. What I'm saying is sex sells back then, and it's still working on young, impressionable minds today.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's the motivation, and it's always my concern is that when you believe with absolute certainty that the minute you die, you're going to be meeting those women and sex and brothel, I call it brothel Jannah, with alcohol and drinks and whatever you want. That's what triggers some people to go on suicide attacks, blow themselves up. Exactly. They don't, because at that point, they really don't care. They are absolutely certain that everything they've been, especially the frustration, I'd say incel men specifically, when they've been rebuffed and they couldn't confirm with Western way of how to approach women and accept that they are equals to them, that this could push them over the edge.
Yeah. Let's wrap this up on the last. Yeah. Let's wrap it up on the with the last one. So Ibn Majah book, hadith number 39, and it's called a book of abstinence. That's one hell of abstinence. Look at this.
Why do I feel like the book of abstinence will have no abstinence required whatsoever?
Eternal, abstinence now. And look at this. So because Abu Umama narrated, the messenger of God said, "Everyone that God admits into paradise will be married to 72 wives. 2 of them are Huris, and 70 of his inheritance of the female dwellers of hell. All of them will have libidinous sex organs." What does that mean, libidinous? Like, has it got to do with libido or something?
I think so, yeah.
Showing excessive, lustful, okay. Libidinous sexual organs. Who doesn't have them? Especially if you're 19. Anyway, he will have an ever erect penis.
Viagra on full load.
Well, if you're going to be doing it for 42 years, of course, or 40 years, you're definitely going to need an eternal penis.
There's a sheikh from Egypt who went on TV and said, all those atheists and gays, when you die, you're going to be turned to Huri, and men are going to be effing you day and night. The comment on social media.
No, I don't want that. But gays will love it. Gays will be like, yes,
exactly.
We had fun on Earth, and now we're having fun in Jannah as well. Gays will love it.
The comments on social media were like, don't say that, because now all the guys will say, well, fine, I'm going to get section up.
I know a few people who'd be like, okay, is that true? Okay, I'm going to go bang more.
Exactly. All right, guys. Thank you very much for hosting me, and it was a great pleasure.
Thank you so much. It was so good as always.
If you like these videos and want to support me in my activism, then you can support me on Patreon or PayPal. Stay free, everyone.